This podcast is part of the It Was a Thing on TV podcast network.
Well, here we are, guys. People tell me this is the baddest bar around. This is where all the bad boys live. If I check this place out, Dustin wouldn't like this. This ain't his type of honky talk, but he said, Dad, he said the War Games, pay-per-view television, submit or surrender. You pick the two baddest you can find. The two baddest I can find, I believe, is inside this building here. A building they call Nastyville. War Games, we're gonna find the answer right inside this arch of steel. Hey man, where'd you park your horse?
Hey man, pretty stylish get up you got there, front.
Jericho, man, you're gonna need it.
Get out of his face. Well, well, well. Hey, what brings the urban cowboy to the heart of Nastyville? That's right, Roy Rogers, the OK Corral somewhere down the street. John Wayne, what are you doing here? Where's that punk kid of yours? Well, you better be glad that punk kid ain't here. You guys have an opportunity. Opportunity is knocking on your door. I'm here for a reason. I didn't ride in here on this bad lightning boat just to be poked fun at. You know what I'm talking about? Scrap ball, Nastyville, call it what you will. I'm talking about pay-per-view television. I'm talking about the War Games. I'm talking about Colonel Parker and his men against Dustin and myself. And we're looking for real two good bad butts, you know what I mean? Guys that are bad. I've been watching you. You've been watching me. You know the whole story about family. But after seeing you, I don't know if you're nasty enough for me and Dustin in the War Games. Not bad enough? Not nasty enough? Huh. Talking about. Now listen up here just a second. Nobody's closer than blood. You two guys been together long time. Nobody's like family. Colonel Parker got Bunkhouse Buck, Terry Funk Iron Anderson, Mean himself, got a bad bunch. The War Games give an opportunity to be bad and nasty. Needs a rip and tear, everything you like to do. You don't have to think about it. Opportunity's knocking. War Games. Dustin, myself, the Dream, and the Natural, and the Nasty Boys at the War Games against Parker and his men, brother. If you want to seal the deal, let me have the scrap ball dang, baby.
That seems pretty nasty to me.
It's nasty time! It's the War Games, boys. Got it, more dead.
Colonel Robert Parker, I want to ask you, how is your blood pressure?
Well, my blood pressure's perfect.
What about your heart?
Well, you asking me about my heart. My heart's in perfect condition.
And your health in general. How's your health in general?
Why are you asking me all these questions? What are you getting to here?
I'll tell you what I'm getting to. Just before we went on the air, I was handed a note from the executive board here at World Championship Wrestling. And Robert Parker, Colonel Robert Parker, I want to paraphrase what they have said. Coming up at Fall Brawl, the War Games, Ming no longer will be allowed to wrestle in your foursome. And instead, they have ordered the directive.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to say that he's not in the... I know he's in the... We know, right?
Take a look right there. Read that. So, Parker, they have instructed us that you're going to be the fourth man in this group.
I don't even know no pair of cards. I'm no professional. Let's reread that. Okay.
Take a look at it. There's 3 paragraphs.
My face flushing red. Oh, no.
Don't look good at all.
Oh, my heart.
Don't look good.
Get home.
Arn Anderson.
Now, who pulled this coup off? Who pulled this coup off, Gene Elton?
Come on, this man is out of control. Won't you touch me?
Okay, everybody, we are ready for war here on the Squared Circle Time Machine. Greg here with Dane, as we are set for WCW Fall Brawl 1994, The War Games.
I am very excited because this is a different period of WCW. I haven't never really watched regularly and seen little bits here and there. And actually, I did see the main event War Games match last year when WWE Vault channel on YouTube was releasing random War Games matches to hype up Survivor Series. So,
yeah. And actually, speaking of War Games, we're heading towards a War Games match in NXT.
yes. Or perhaps a Lethal Lockdown, depending on which promotion they decide to have their big feud in.
That is true, because we have NXT going to war with TNA.
Yep.
And it was so great seeing the TNA stars. I was pumped that, we got to see Cardona, we got to see Eric Young show up, we saw Kazarian. It was great.
Yeah. Got to see the former Iconics as well, too, looking iconic as usual.
And meanwhile, Ricky and Obafemi are having their thing with the NXT title.
The big stare down for their, Kind of glad that they didn't do what I thought they were going to do and put one of the belts on Oba or Trick there and really screw things up. But I kind of had a feeling once I started hearing more about, they teased it last week with the whole TNA wrestlers on Twitter acting all angry. And I thought, okay. And then they all started showing up and we had the big end the show brawl there. And so, double DQ, I guess, for the match, and everything's status quo right now.
Yep. So we're heading on a collision course with NXT and TNA right now. But we also got to talk about the wrestling that occurred last week. Now, Dane, I'm going to be quite honest with you. We had a big weekend between AEW All Out and WWE WrestlePalooza, and I had watched a single minute of either show.
I watched WrestlePalooza because I get it on Netflix here in Canada, and I'm not spending $60 for All Out. And although I did read up on the results, and for All Out, I'm glad to hear that Chris Statlander is now women's champion again. So kudos to her. And the rest, it just seemed like your typical 2025 AEW pay-per-view, where it's 10 matches, 5 hours long, and will be completely irrelevant next month when they put on another 10-match, 5-hour pay-per-view. And our national crisis is over. We got Luchasaurus and scapegoat Jack Perry, I guess, now going back to Jungle Boy. Jurassic Express is back.
Oh, thank heavens.
Yeah. It's probably all coincidental that happened. That, I guess, apparently, from what I heard, or maybe it's just internet marks making fun of the situation, that apparently after Jack Perry made his appearance back on TV over on WrestlePalooza, CM Punk was doing the Reggie Miller, Tyrese Halliburton joke pantomime.
Yeah, well, freaking CM Punk better hope he doesn't freaking tear his ACL like Tyrese Halliburton did Game 7 against the Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh!
Ooh, jeez.
I'm shooting.
We got shooting here. But from what I saw from WrestlePalooza, it was kind of a mid-show, but two highlights, of course, was Io and Stephanie Becker for the vacant World Women's title, and Becker getting the big W. And also another highlight was the Punk and AJ versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch dressed as giants, wanting, I guess, what their way of communicating that they want to be the giant edible Pop-Tarts at the next Pop-Tarts Bowl there for you Americans.
You know what? It would be hilarious. I think we all would want to see Becky Lynch cooked, literally and figuratively. Because then we wouldn't have to see her on TV anymore.
And apparently that match was produced, and the agent in charge was our good friend TJ Wilson, aka Tyson Kidd, aka Mr. Natty Neidhart.
Ooh. Oh, and by the way, from what I'm hearing, Dane, I believe they've said that when Natty eventually comes back to WWE, she's going to come back in her Bloodsport persona.
Oh, thank God. Please let her go on it'd be awesome to see her just tear everyone across. It
would be glorious.
Yes.
But we got to get into the big news of the week. And that is the breaking news that one of the sickos of AEW is literally a sicko.
Yes, apparently a fan of AEW has been arrested for keeping people in the basement.
It's like you could not make this up.
And so, between this and apparently some other person on Reddit complaining about the BO situation in Toronto this past weekend, it's not a good week for the sickles. You're basically living up to the stereotypes, people.
The funniest part was when they showed the blurred picture. Now, there's a picture of the deranged person that kidnapped all these people. And there's two other people. One is Luchasaurus, of course. And the other one is blurred in the middle. And you can totally tell it's Tony Khan, because who the fuck would have a hairdo like that?
And yes, there is I've seen the unblurred version of the picture, and yes, it is definitely Tony Khan. So all you AEW fans who want to pin guilt by association, I guess Tony Khan endorses basement creepers by association.
Who's the Harvey Weinstein now, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so let's get in to 1994. So now we're in part 2 of our arc. We are in
Roanoke, Virginia at the Roanoke Civic Center
for WCW Fall Brawl 1994.
Yes. And I gotta say, I kind of like the PC game / 3DO opening for this pay-per-view with the grid and the missile tracker and that kind of stuff.
It definitely does feel 3DO.
Yeah.
Looks like something Trip Hawkins would put out. So we get a national anthem to start us out.
Yeah.
And we get Tony and Bobby with Mean Gene as they tell us what to look forward to on this show.
Yeah. Among that is apparently we're going to be piped into a phone call with Hulk Hogan, who's not at this pay-per-view. And actually gets a bit of a boo because we're in Virginia here, and Virginia, I think, is an old Crockett Promotions area, so Flair is definitely the neck of the woods for Flair country, so
let's get into our opening match of this show. It is for the WCW Television Championship, the defending champion of Lord Steven Regal, taking on the challenger, Johnny B. Bad.
This was a treat because I haven't seen enough. I enjoy Johnny B. Bad at that, and this is kind of like the beginning of his significant push, I guess, in WCW. This is the Johnny B. Bad I know, with the Bad Blaster, the long cape, and here comes Johnny B. Bad. He looks just like Little Richard.
Oh, that's one of my favorite theme songs from this time, too. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we got Lord Steven coming out with Sir William. Well, Steven is looking like freaking, I don't know, he looks like he's trying to cross the Delaware or something.
He's got his red coat and traditional House of Lords powdered wig. And Tony Schiavone's acting all bemused by this fact that, wait, the British people actually wear those things? And I think Bobby Heenan's like trying to justify, oh yeah, it's for sporting events they do.
Yeah, they wear those wigs all the time at Premier League games. Okay, so let me get into the Scott review for this match. All right, here we go. Bad works the arm to start and takes Regal down with a drop kick before going back to the arm again, and a monkey flip gets two. Regal gets some physical therapy from Sir William to loosen up the arm again, and they trade cradles for two before Bad goes back to the arm. Regal fights out of that, so Johnny gives him the airplane spin to send him to the floor, and then follows with the dive and necks him on the top rope. But then Johnny tries a springboard and misses, clotheslining himself on the top rope and allowing Regal to take over. Regal controls on the mat as this settles into being every Regal TV title defense ever, with Blacktop Bully getting thrown out at ringside to give the camera something else to watch for a bit. Oh yeah, because Doug Dillinger's had enough of Blacktop Bully insulting Johnny B. Bad.
But he's only just there. He's just been there for 15 minutes and he's already kicked out. That's got to actually be a record for a fan being ejected. I think the next person I can think of that got ejected was our annoying megaphone girl from the Royal Rumble 88 there.
Oh yeah, the fan with the megaphone annoying the shit out of Jimmy Hart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that Barry Darsow is going to be world champ or anything, but given the amount of TV time that the character got early on, the complete lack of a payoff was astonishing. Well, Scott, to be honest, that's what happens when friggin' Mike Gramps thinks it's a good idea for you and your opponent to blade during a match.
Yeah, going against company policy.
Bad makes a comeback and puts Regal down with the flying head scissors, but it only gets one. Regal tosses him to buy time, but Bad comes in with a sunset flip for two. William gets involved in the heels collide, which gives Bad another two. Bad misses an elbow, and Regal beats on him with forearms, but a backslide gets the pin, and the title is Bad wins his first bout at 11 minutes. Decent opener, but Regal wasn't exactly motivated at this point. 2.5 stars.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a good opener and good way to pop the crowd, and bit of a mishmash of styles between Bad's high-flying stuff and Regal's ground and pound British strong style stuff, but I enjoyed it for sure.
Oh yeah, same with me. And really, I think the crowd was very happy to see Johnny get his first title in WCW.
Yep. And now, hopefully, I wonder if, since we had another 50s, 60s rock and roller impersonator coming in, announced last time we took a trip to 94 WCW with the Honky Tonky Man. Are we going to get the greatest feud that's ever between an Elvis impersonator and Little Richard impersonator coming down the road?
Oh, if freaking Keith Langston has anything to say about it, no. But as for me, yes. All right, so we have Bobby, Tony, and Gene recapping the whole Hogan Flair situation from last month with the Masked Man. And I got to be quite honest, Dean, I've had a month to think about this, and this Masked Man. I wonder who the Masked Man is.
Who knows? They're still playing it on the line that it's obviously Flair knows something about what's going on with this Masked Man. And I think later on we hear that even Mean Gene was on G. Gordon Liddy's radio show in Washington, D.C. And old G. Gordon had his own theories about the Masked Man.
Oh, I want to hear a tape of this somewhere. I want to hear a tape of Mean Gene on WJFK FM in DC with G. Gordon Liddy discussing who they think the Masked Man is. I wonder if Gene speculated, is it the Playmate of the Month? Who knows?
Who knows? Is it a dinosaur?
Actually, that would be some freaking twist if the Masked Man turned out to be a dinosaur.
A young Luchasaurus or Mr. Iguana.
Or maybe Baby Sinclair all grown up from dinosaurs. You never know.
They probably maybe had developed a adult Baby Sinclair animatronic puppet set that they could have found somewhere in the Disney's MGM Studios soundstage lot.
Oh, wait a minute. I do remember there was like this one episode of Dinosaurs where Like, I think Baby Sinclair was in a commercial or something, and Fran had this dream of him being a washed-up child star, and he goes on this talk show, adult Baby Sinclair on this talk show, and the hilarious part is he's voiced by Jason Alexander, and he's like, "I'm the baby, yeah, gotta love me." I would have loved that.
That should have been the series finale instead of the depressing end for it.
All right, so now we have a loser leaves WCW match between former tag champs Cactus Jack and Kevin Sullivan. Now, Dane, before we start this show, I'm skimming through this pay-per-view, and I found this image that I'm going to pause here. It's at 27:11 in the video on the WCW YouTube channel, and it's a picture, obviously from WCW magazine, of Cactus Jack on the sign, and it says, "Goodbye, Kevin, bang, bang, but goodbye is spelled without the E."
Yeah.
This fan did not do good planning with the spacing on his sign.
No, he didn't. That's why you have to plan it out when you're doing that kind of stuff. We also see Kevin's brother, David Sullivan, accompanying him, and he's becoming a big Hulkamaniac, apparently.
Oh, well, who is it? Everyone's got Hulkamania fever in WCW. He's showing the t-shirt, Dave. He's got the bandana. Crap, I'd go to the merchandise stand right now and get that Hulkamania WCW bandana.
Yeah, and he's got an autograph book, I guess, too. I guess he's hoping that Hogan's going to be there, too, so he can sign it, but not knowing that's not paying attention, I guess, to Mean Gene saying that he's going to be talking to him via satellite later on, so.
Oh, yeah, well, but he can't get his autograph, though. He's not at the show, so I don't know what Dave's going to be doing with the book. Maybe he's going to get somebody else to sign it later. Maybe get Sting to sign it or Guardian Angel. I don't know. Okay, so the loser's going to leave WCW. So here we go to Scott for the review of this match. This match is, of course, the loser leaves WCW match. AKA Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time Kevin, being introduced as formerly from Singapore, now hailing from Daytona Beach, is very on trend for him. They immediately brawl on the floor and take bumps into the crowd and back in the ring for a slugfest before Jack immediately gets bored of that and sends Kevin out again. Jack pulls up the bats after running Kevin into the post, but he goes up and Evad pulls him down so Kevin can slam him from the middle rope to the concrete in a sick, unprotected bump. And of course, Kevin slams him again for good measure. I just watched Mick take that bump on International Incident earlier in the day. So what are the odds that he would take two stupid bumps on two different shows like that? Okay, pretty good odds, actually. They head into the ring, and Jack makes a comeback, but Sullivan takes him to the floor and slams him on the concrete again. Jack fights back and grabs a chair, but Evad prevents him from using it, allowing Kevin to run Jack into the stairs and get his own chair. But then Jack charges while Evad holds Kevin back, and he collides with Evad and gets pinned at 5:47 to exit WCW. I'm sure he was broken up about that. Huge disappointment outside of Jack taking multiple stupid bumps on the concrete. Star and a half.
It seemed like probably could have given it a bit more time but it was all right for what it was, like a typical Mick Foley taking some unnecessary risky bumps to try and make the crowd care about him, and of course we'll probably see later on how Kevin Sullivan feels about Evad being a Hulkamaniac.
Oh, yeah, because I don't know if you know this, Dane, but he is not happy, Kevin, with how he's been Evad hanging out with the Hulkster and wants to know him to notice him.
Might have to form some kind of dungeon. Might have to go to a dungeon of some sort to correct his brother.
Oh, some kind of dungeon of, like, possibly Doom?
Possibly, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that could work. But, I think with Cactus, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was later this month or maybe the next week, he wrestles Jimmy Snuka at the UWF Blackjack Brawl.
Oh, no.
Yeah. One day Dane, we're going to have to review that UWF Project Brawl. Without a doubt, I think that might be one of the worst shows of all time, Blackjack Brawl.
Yes, like, believe it was. One that doesn't get enough attention as it is. Like, everyone always talks about Heroes of Wrestling or King of the Ring 95 or NWO Sold Out 97, or I guess WrestlePalooza now, 2025, if you believe all the sickles.
But no, nothing beats Blackjack Brawl. Forget it. Okay, so now we have a promo with the Stud Stable getting ready for the War Games match.
I am here with the Stud Stable. Yes, as a matter of fact, I have Colonel Robert Parker and his men who are going to be involved in the Fall Brawls, War Games, and the match beyond. Gentlemen, I should warn you, there is no tomorrow. Bunkhouse Buck, you've got the Rhodes and the Nasty.
Let me say something to you and them backstabbing, no good, rotten, lying, cheating WCW officials. You got it all backwards. You got the cart before the horse. The colonel ain't supposed to be in the ring. It's supposed to be me. Don't worry about a thing. Don't worry about the mule. Just load the wagon called Bunkhouse. They're going to knock out something.
Colonel Parker, you have really backed yourself into a corner. This man is out and you're in.
Let's not count our chickens here before that about me going in that ring. Don't you worry about my heart and blood pressure. I've not exhausted all my effort toward getting me involved in this War Games yet. I'll tell you this, though, if I have to go in there, I'll pull my coat and my tie and hat off, and I'll go in there proud. But I want you to know in WCW, everybody that bought pay-per-view, it's in your hands. It's
Colonel! Colonel! I want to volunteer. Lieutenant Funk wants to volunteer to take the front line. To take the front line against the FBI. I want the FBI tonight. 1 or 4 of them. I'm talking about the Fat Boys Incorporated, yeah.
All right, rounding out the foursome, none other than AA Arn Anderson. The Rhodes have got a score to settle with you.
Gene Oakland, the time for hype is over. The time for personal assessment of what we're all doing here has come and gone. 8 men are going to enter a double cage. Only 4 are going to leave. The time has come to reach into a man's very manhood and pull something out of him that makes him say, I quit. It's not about pinning a man. It's about looking in his eyes and making him say, I give up. I'm more man than you. Well, we came here to die tonight if necessary, because to get us to quit, you're going to have to kill us.
All right, that's it. Those are the ground rules. Submit or surrender. It happens tonight in War Games, the match beyond. Let's get back inside the arena.
Okay, Dan, I have to explain this. I believe it was the week before on Saturday night. Originally, Ming was going to be part of the Stud Stables team.
That would have made sense.
Yeah, it would have made sense, but I guess Nick Bockwinkel on the WCW International Board, they pulled a switcheroo. And no, actually, Colonel Parker is going to have to wrestle in this match.
I think we will hear that. I'm going to jump ahead here and paraphrase Mean Gene later on in the show and asking Nick Bockwinkel, what were you smoking?
I know. I mean, Colonel Parker, I mean, he has a manager's license, but I don't think he has a wrestler's license.
And he's like portrayed as like this fat, out of shape Southerner, like who looks like I'm thinking like he'll need like a stool that's to sit down, like if he was on like a softball team to sit, he'd need like a stool and be at the catcher, because that's the only position his cardiologist will approve of him.
But I want to show with you in the YouTube clip at 3613. If you look at Ming here, he's got a glorious suit and he's got a glorious white tie on him.
Yeah, he's definitely looking badass there.
I really wish that Mattel would put out like a Ming figure in this getup.
Yep.
I would buy the shit out of that. Or better yet, have a Haku figure and make that the chase.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome.
Yes, it would be. But we got pretty standard promo stuff from Arn Anderson and Terry Funk, I guess, wanting to fight the FBI. And sadly,
not the FBI, because Tracy Smothers is here. So why does he want to fight the FBI? It's 1994, Terry.
You guys aren't quite out of shape yet enough to challenge him to a dance-off.
No. Although, wouldn't it have been funny at Hardcore Justice if Terry Funk showed up and said to Tracy Smothers, I want to challenge you to a dance-off. I saw you dance earlier, and I bet you I could do the electric slide better than you, Smothers. I don't know why I picked the electric slide out of all the freaking dances in the world, but whatever. Okay, so we're supposed to have a U.S. title match here between Stunning Steve and Ricky the Dragon to have their rematch from the Clash, but I got some sad news for you, Dane.
I'm ready to hear this news.
Ricky, he has a back injury. He can't compete tonight.
Or ever again, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, so Nick Bockwinkel says Ricky's has to surrender the U.S. title to Steve.
Yeah, and Steve, he almost cuts a Stone Cold-esque promo on Steamer, telling him that it's over and get his mealy mouth ass out of his ring. But before Steamer, with his own little comeback, you may have gotten this title. I beat you for this title, but you never beat me for this title. So that was kind of a nice little parting shot there from face Steamboat.
Yeah, but Steve, he's going to walk out with the belt. But wait a second. Nick says that, oh, no, you're going to wrestle somebody tonight because you're contractually obligated to wrestle.
Oh, God. This is Shawn Michaels relinquishing the belt over to Dean Douglas post-Syracuse beatdown, isn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about, Dean. That's not for every year and a month.
Okay.
Except we don't have the great shot of like that of Ricky like walking out of the ring moping. Like Shawn did. Oh.
Anyways, Steve is apparently contractually forced to defend the title against, and then I probably can hear retrospectively, you can hear 1,000 smart marks doing the Michael Scott. No, please no.
Oh, it's Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And somewhere in Connecticut, you can hear my WrestleTrax co-host Scott Criscoa scream in 1994 about this. So Steve's like, no, I don't want to do this. And Nick's like, no, you got to do it. You have to wrestle him. You got to wrestle him and defend your title. Freaking Duggan, he does a 3-point stance, back body drop, jumps on top of him, 1, 2, 3, and Hacksaw's the U.S. champion.
God.
So I have a question, Dane. Was this longer or shorter, you think, than Yokozuna's first WWF title reign?
I would almost venture it is about the same length, maybe a little bit shorter.
I would say maybe it's a minute or two longer than Yokozuna's title reign.
At least with, I know Yoko, we had a little bit more stalling there with Brett selling the bonsai splash and the salt in the eye, and then Hogan coming out to do his hot dog and grandstand, and Brett, brother, do you want me to go get him, brother, get him? And Brett's like, go get him, and then Fuji's spouting himself off on the microphone, and I think this was a bit long. Yoko Hogan was a bit longer because of the post-match shenanigans that kind of kept the belt a little bit longer on Yoko than compared to here.
And really, when you think about it, Dane, people look back on this moment and say that this was kind of the beginning of the end for Austin and WCW.
Yes, it would be. And yet the live crowd ate it up for whatever reason.
Yeah, because I think everyone loved Hacksaw. It was like, yay, Hacksaw. We know and love him. So it's like...
We know and love him. And he carries the Americana flag. And America, yeah.
And, I'm going to be quite honest. As a kid, I was pumped about it because Hacksaw, he never had a belt in WWF. So it's like, Hacksaw with a belt? I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, that would have been amazing to see him with some kind of... I mean, closest he probably ever got to a title was, closest he ever was any kind of championship, he was King of the Ring.
King Duggan, yeah, but I think he's also coming a year removed from that feud with Shawn for the Intercontinental title.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, so, it wasn't that unusual because we had already seen Hacksaw challenge for a singles title, so I guess maybe that helped Hacksaw in the championship committee's mind, maybe. But then we have Gene cutting an interview with Hacksaw, and he's so happy about the whole title that he immediately talks about how it's so stupid that Ric Flair goes around with a fake championship belt.
Wait a minute. I'm okay because I'm confused with this a little bit because apparently Rick won the match last time by disqualification, but yet he took off with the belt.
Well, no. Hogan has the belt. Rick made a fake championship. So he has a Timu version of the big gold belt, and now he's claiming he's the real world's champion.
So we're kind of repeating Flair in the WWF in 91 when he comes in as declaring himself the real world champion.
I don't know. But okay, we get to our next match. It's Stars and Stripes of Marcus Alexander Bagwell and the Patriot going up against Pretty Wonderful Paul Orndorff and Paul Roma, the current WCW tag champs. And there's like a cool spot here as Hacksaw's leaving to go backstage as Stars and Stripes is coming out. And Stars and Stripes, they congratulate Hacksaw. I think it's kind of a nice moment.
Oh, yeah, because you got your two Super Patriot faces all giving themselves the kudos.
Now, I gotta say, I love Marcus and Patriot's outfits. It looks like they've got them like at the mall in Tommy Hilfiger or something.
Oh, yeah, because Tommy Hilfiger was the coloring scheme and look, and Patriot looking like he could be grandfather to all our Americano variants that we're now running around in the WWE right now.
Oh, yes. Oh, meanwhile, I guess Blacktop Bully got let back in because he started some shit with Marcus.
Okay, Doug Dillinger, you suck as security. Because I think we commented about this the last WCW show that there too, like, you decide to lock the doors after the Masked Man had attacked Hogan and apparently ran off, so...
Yeah, Doug really did not do a good job keeping security tight when you really think about it. Like, how did Doug in kayfabe manage to keep his job all those years? Meanwhile, we get Pretty Wonderful coming out to the ring, and we talked about how Ming looked cool in these sunglasses he got. I guess he must have given Orndorff and Roma some of the same sunglasses he got, because they're coming out with some shades too.
And then somewhere in Calgary, we got Bruce Hart cursing, like, these buggers stay with my gimmick now.
Probably saying to himself, I should have been in the feud with Owen.
I should go to WCW and feud with someone.
Brett thinks I'm the shits.
I'll show him who the shits is.
All right, let's get to Scott for the tag match review. I can safely slot this team in as the best of Bagwell's random tag team partner pairings. I told you that was the best of the partner pairings. Scorpio was a good babyface team, but clearly they were just there to job to the Nasties, but the Patriot team made Bagwell seem like a fully formed tag team wrestler and a real team. Yeah! What do you think?
I still got a soft spot because I was introduced to Bagwell during 97, 98 with the NWO B team, Vicious and Delicious with Big Scott Norton, so...
Oh, well. Well, I will say, though, I do love me the American Males theme.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter if I pop it up on YouTube and I'm in my car, I'm going to put that on repeat and just say, American Males, American Males, American Males, American Males. All right, back to Scott. Roma slugs Bagwell down to start while Bobby declares that they're not a bunch of goofy bodybuilders who have 3 eggs and a can of tuna every day while using distorted mirrors to make themselves look bigger. I wonder who he's referring to there, Dave.
Narcissus.
I feel like there's a specifically aimed criticism in there. Stars and Stripes double team Orndorff and work the arm. Patriot with a crossbody for 2, and the champs regroup while Bobby questions why Patriot wears a mask. Is he all burned and scarred up?
The doctors told me those scars had healed, but they're wrong, Bobby. You're just like those doctors, Bobby.
And then Patriot burns Bobby.
That's Bobby Heenan on fire, much to, well, Buff Bagwell tries to coax him not to.
Yeah, he goes and becomes all the RVD to Patriot's Kane. Scott, yeah, right. What are the odds that some wrestler wearing a mask because he's all burned and scarred up? And I love Bobby also makes a quip like about Marcus, like, you know what? He's called Bagwell. His parents were bag people.
Now I wish we that Russo never gave us homeless Judy Bagwell.
Yeah, it could have had Judy as a bag lady.
Yeah.
Like in a bag.
Yeah, or have like her shopping cart full of like plunder and stuff like New Jack had.
Oh, that would have been fantastic. Now, there's this one part of the match that I freaking love where Bagwell's on the outside of the ring, and I think it's either Orndorff or Roma. They find a cooler filled with like drinks and stuff, and they pour it on to Bagwell, and there's all ice shit pouring out of the cooler. Let me get that. It's at 101 in the YouTube video if you want to find it. 1 hour and 1 minute in the YouTube video if you want to sync up with it. I have it right here. Okay, Orndorff, he has Bagwell on the outside of one of the rings here, puts his head into the cooler, and then he goes onto the back into, and then he decides, yeah, I'm going to pour all the ice onto the cooler and pour it onto Marcus. We got some water bottles, and we got a high C.
So here we go. Paul Orndorff inventing the ice bucket challenge about 20 years earlier.
Yeah. Who would have thought Paul Orndorff, a very good pioneer? Now, this makes me wonder, Dean. Do you think like someone, I appreciate the high C, but you think someone could have found some Ecto Cooler and put that into the cooler there?
That would have been appreciative. Or I'm surprised if it being the South in the United States, I'm surprised there wasn't any RC Cola in there.
Oh my God.
Or
RC
Mellow
Cola.
Yellow.
Oh, Mellow Yellow, because we know that promo back in the day, Dusty loves his Mellow Yellow.
Yeah.
I think the last time it had RC Cola, no joke, was when that was the official beverage of Shea Stadium for the Mets. Like in the early 90s or whatever. I have had Diet Right Cola, I think, since, though. That was like the diet soda equivalent of RC Cola from the same company. Yeah, but I don't think we've had RC Cola sold around these parts here in the New York area in like years. It's mainly just wherever you go, it's Coke, Pepsi, that's it. And Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper, by the way, official drink of Fansville. Do you get those Dr. Pepper Fansville commercials in Canada?
No, we don't.
Oh, Dane, you have to Google Dr. Pepper Fansville. These are some of the greatest freaking ads I've ever seen in my life. It is like this big story devoted around college football, and it's told in all these advertisements. This has been going on for 8 seasons. It is the most amazing shit ever. Okay, let's get back to Scott here. Bagwell comes in, and Roma slams him to set up Orndorff's boogie woogie elbow before he goes to a facelock. Bagwell with a sunset flip for 2, and then he blocks Orndorff's reversal for 2. Roma comes in with a drop kick, and that gets 2. Flying elbow gets 2. Patriot saves, so the heels toss Bagwell out, and Orndorff runs him into a plastic floor. Yep, that's the spot we talked about. Well, the top is kind of abrasive, I guess. So then Orndorff dumps the ice all over Marcus and goes to finish with the pile driver, but Marcus backdrops out of it. Roma jumps in and cuts off the tag with a facelock, but Patriot has had enough, and he runs wild with a double clothesline. But meanwhile, Orndorff pile drives Bagwell into the floor while the ref gets Patriot out, and Roma gets the cheap pin on Bagwell to retain at 12:40. Match was building great, but the finish was really flat. 3 stars. They'd have other matches soon after, though.
You know, I remember people kind of crapping on Pretty Wonderful as a team, and you know what? They seem to work here as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, I like them as a heel tag team.
Yeah. And Also here, like, my only experience with the Patriots at the time was him being part of Team America against the Hart Foundation in that feud. So, and the poor bugger, that's when he decided to went and tore his bicep and ended his career for that run. So it was nice to kind of see him work in a better style here.
You know what? I'm glad at least, though, out of it, we got Steve Blackman.
Yeah.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
My darling, I have procured a delicious meal. It's a shrimp and fish meal from Long John Silver's. 3 tasty battered hip shrimp and their famous fish. My self-nator. And I brought you this game card, known for winning a fun-filled sojourn of unparalleled proportions. You fragile holes. Hey, there's 3 of me. There's only one of you, sweetie Pooh.
The Little Rascals, now playing at theaters and along John Silver's near you.
Who is your Sunday night mystery date? Perry Mason, Matlock, Marlowe, Agatha Christie, Mary Higgins Clark? How about a different one every Sunday night? Presenting the TBS Sunday Night Masters of Mystery. This Sunday, it's Matlock.
Wait a minute.
A senator murdered. A gangster's son framed.
You know these are dangerous people.
A case Matlock can't afford to lose. The investigation. A different master, a different mystery. Every Sunday night, 7 Eastern, only on TBS.
I think men and women should share household chores. Don't you? I cook, and my husband, Bill, does the dishes. He's terrific at it. He always scrapes the plates, and he never, ever overloads.
No matter who does the dishes, Cascade does the dirty work. Dishes washed without sheeting action are left looking dirty, but Cascade with sheeting action gets them so clean they're virtually spotless.
Perfect! Just like you, my little love.
Sunday night, Montana makes tracks to the sunny south, and the Falcons want to know if Joe's ready for a little southern hospitality. The Chiefs, the Falcons, tomorrow at 8 Eastern, right after the stadium show at 7:30 on TNT.
Batman's toughest challenge is Phantasm. But first, the Joker must be stopped. Only Total Armor Batman can prepare to do battle with Jetpack Joker.
Time for a little pick-me-up.
This clown's in for a total surprise. That nightmare is over, but Phantasm remains. So Batman powers up with the electronic Crime Stalker vehicle.
Sounds cool.
It's a fight to the finish, but Phantasm's no match for the power of Batman. Vehicle and figures each sold separately.
Class, I'll be right back.
See this? This connects you with one awesome number. 1-900-909-9900. It's WCW Hotline. Online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You'll get the latest info. Stuff you'll never see on TV. Dial 1-900-909-9900.
Calls cost $1.49 first minute, 99 cents each additional minute. Kids get parents' permission.
On the next National Geographic Explorer, dodge, dart, and dance with danger. On the Serengeti with Thompson's Gazelles. The last great adventure of the weekend, National Geographic Explorer, 9 Eastern tonight, only on TBS.
We got a promo with Mean Gene with Dusty and Dustin and the Nasty Boys here. And I love that Dusty's got a Nasty Boy style shirt that says Nasty Dream.
Okay, I'm either going to go with the Jake Peralta title of your sex tape or just that's what kind of sex position is that? So yeah, so basically we're going with a sex joke here, people.
All right, so we have a triangle match to determine the number one contender for the WCW Championship between Vader, Sting, and the Guardian Angel. Now, Dane, the Guardian Angel, of course, is the big boss man. But you see, he's called the Guardian Angel because he can't be the boss anymore because Nick Bockwinkel took that name from him. So, of all fucking people in the world, current New York mayoral candidate Curtis Sweela decides, hey, boss man, do you want to be a Guardian Angel? And so it is a guardian angel now.
Oh, God.
He's got the stupid fucking beret on and shit.
Because my only experience knowing anything about the Guardian Angels was, I think, in between Grand Theft Auto 4, where he had kind of like the parody version of them. Like, I know they were kind of like street vigilantes, and I think also in the ones It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, when Dee and Mac decide to become street vigilantes after they catch the bum there pleasuring himself in front of the bar.
Oh, yeah. Bum making a mess all over the city.
Yep.
Okay, so this is 1994, so we can't have a triple threat match because I guess there's like a committee for like traditional matches in 1994, so we can't have three-way matches for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have a series of coin tosses or something to decide. Okay, two wrestlers are gonna face each other. One's gonna get a pie. The winner of the first match will meet the person who got the pie in the second match.
Okay, well, that sounds kind of convoluted, but interesting because, I mean, basically, you're almost setting up like it's almost kind of like with, the gauntlet matches there that, the first two people are kind of like a big disadvantage there because then they got to run the rest of the gauntlet, and then your last person comes in and pretty much wins the match because they're rested up, whereas you have like the first person who's been in there since the beginning. So, yeah, this should be interesting to see how they play it out because thankfully we had top babyface Sting winning the coin toss, so we get actually a bit of a big meaty men rematch of Ray Traylor and Vader.
Yep. Okay, so let's go to Scott's review of match 1. Sting wins a coin flip and gets a bye. So we start with Vader and the Angel. As Heenan says boss man a bunch of times without directly referencing the guy in the ring. Legally distinct. Yeah, that happens. Heenan calls Angel the boss.
Yeah, I called him boss man, but then he trails off saying that he should be a boss man in the company. That he should be the boss man of WCW.
Well, Bobby, get in line and talk to Ted about that.
Yeah.
Vader and Angel run into each other and yell their anger before going to a test of strength. Vader beats on him in the corner and follows with a corner splash, but Angel puts him down with a back suplex. Angel counters the body slam attempt and gets 2, but Vader takes him to the floor with a cactus clothesline, and they brawl out there. Back in the ring, Angel with an enziguri, and he powers Vader up for a slam and gets 2. Angel slugs away on the ropes, but Vader bumps the ref and Angel hits the boss man slam for the visual pinfall. But then Race comes in and headbutts Angel, and Vader finishes with the Vader bomb for 7 minutes. Good Haas fight, 2.5 stars.
And I love Race's black coat there. Then he's got on the back there, there's Vader Race on the back and nice red lettering. Like almost like he's part of like a Vader racing team, or we're going to see like Vader somehow turning all of humanity into Vaders, like how we had John Sims Master do in one episode of Doctor Who there.
Everybody's going to look like Vader. All become 400-pound hosses. All right, so let's go to Scott for match number 2. They trade shots, and then Sting takes a run at him and hits a brick wall. Vader goes up with the Vader bomb right away, but he tries it again, and Sting boots him down this time and tries a sunset flip. Vader sits down and misses, allowing Sting to clothesline him to the floor, and they brawl out there. Grace gets involved, and Sting suplexes him and heads back into the ring for a delayed suplex. To the top for a flying splash, but a second one hits the knees, and Vader goes up, but misses the moonsault. Sting makes the comeback and hits Vader with a superplex, but he goes after Race and only gets 2 off of that. Samoan drop gets 2. Sting slugs away in the corner and follows with the Stinger splash, which gets 2. Sting with a release German for 2. Vader just gets annoyed and tosses Sting again like he's a bug. Back in the ring, Tony tries to explain the difference between overtime and sudden death in the context of the match stipulations, and I'm lost. Vader slugs away in the corner, and Sting makes the comeback and gets 2 off that. Vader bails to the floor and switches rings, so Sting hits him with a flying clothesline and a flying splash for 2. Vader with a back suplex for 2. Vader goes up and Sting power slams him for the double down and then gets 2 off of that. Brace pulls the ref out to save, so Sting gets the Scorpion Deathlock, and Vader holds out until the time expires at 15 minutes. So, okay, I guess we're going to have a 5-minute overtime period.
Yep.
So, Scott says, okay, then I guess we go to penalty kicks.
What it ends up being, basically.
Oh, it really does end up being that, as we'll find out. Sting attacks in the corner, and Vader fights him off with a suplex and takes him to the top, but Sting slugs him down. He can't do a flying splash for whatever reason, so he just kind of falls down and gets 2. Vader goes up, and Sting brings him down with a top rope Samoan drop. Vader power slams him for 2. So Tony actually does clarify the meaning of sudden death, and the first person to leave their feet loses. I was hoping they settle things the old Navy way. That would make Sting the winner. Vader with a big splash for 2. Powerbomb gets 2 as the OT round expires at 5 minutes. So it's sudden death because we must have a winner for the number 1 contendership. So Vader boxes his ears and Sting won't go down, holding himself up with the ropes while Vader beats on him. Sting makes the comeback and Vader goes down, but the ref is distracted by Guardian Angel brawling with Brace at ringside. Now, okay, Dane, I have a problem with this, okay? Guardian Angel had to wait until the sudden death period to finally attack Farley. Why couldn't he have done this during the match beforehand?
During the match or after the match? Because basically after the match, you're done. You're over it. Just wallop him after the match, and Harley gets carried out on the stretcher, and Guardian Angel can go and Guardian Angel stuff, and we got a one-on-one match then, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, this all ends up being all for naught anyways, because dun dun dun.
Oh no, Dane, the masked man has shown up.
Yes, he has.
What is he doing, Dane? I'm guessing that Doug Dillinger has been so distracted by the Blacktop Bully, he can't focus on the security outside, so the masked man somehow got into the arena.
Yes, and somehow Blacktop Bully got himself back in the show anyways.
Yeah,
Damn it, Doug.
Yeah, Doug, you're such an ass. Why? Okay. Masked Man runs in, clips Sting to put him down, giving Vader the win at 3 minutes of sudden death. No shock here, but it was another hell of a match between Sting and Vader, 4 1/4 stars. But why would the Butcher care about making Vader the number 1 contender? Wait, hold on a second. Who's the Butcher, Dane?
The Butcher? Is he like a butcher of friendships, apparently?
Does he know the candlestick maker?
Oh.
But then that would mean that he'd have to know the barber, and there's only one barber we know.
There's only... Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, you know. No, I mean, come on.
I mean, why? Well, for all we know, Brother Brutai is with his buddy Hulk, hanging and banging, clanging and banging.
Yeah, they're probably out somewhere. We'll see Hogan. He's at his house in Bel Air, Florida. So I'm guessing they're hanging out. I don't know what they'd be doing in Florida. Maybe they'd go to the Bucks game. The Bucks have just started their season in '94. So
yeah. Or maybe Hulk got him another guest spot on an upcoming episode of Thunder in Paradise. And they're taping.
Oh, yeah. I think that show's still going on at this time. Just remember #Jizzle Drizzle. Never forget. Okay, now we're going to have the big encounter between Hogan and Flair over the phone.
This was kind of confusing as hell because you basically got 2 split screens here and you're having like Hogan first talking to Mean Gene on the big video wall there. And you have Jimmy Hart coming in with, and I'm sorry, but sleeveless Jimmy Hart is very unnerving to me.
Well, we're watching it right now. It's just, like, so weird seeing Jimmy with no sleeves on.
Yeah.
These ladies here are like, Rick, I don't know where Ric Flair is, huh?
I don't know where he is.
But then, of course, Rick then gets the phone and, well, Hogan, he's got a plan. It's like,
he's got a master plan, brother.
He's got a master plan. So his plan is, look, Rick, I know you hate me. I know you want to see me gone forever. So here's an idea. I know you want to say you're retired and you say you're the real world's champ and you have your Team World title belt with you. Casinos in Vegas. I don't know what the hell you're doing in Vegas. There's no baseball, so I'm guessing you're making a lot of football bets for some reason.
Football bets, or I don't know, blackjack or poker tournament maybe, or
yeah, poker, maybe play aces and eights.
Yeah, probably also going through starting half, going all the way through all the Cheryl Girls and Wayne Newton's shows.
Oh yeah, could you imagine Ric Flair at like Wayne Newton's show? That'd be fantastic. Okay, so Hogan's plan is, okay, Rick, we can have a match, but here's the stipulation. If I lose, if you beat me, I'll retire and you'll never have to hear my name again. And Rick's like, wait a minute, what'd you say? Said, yeah, I'll retire and you'll never have to see me again. And Rick's like, woo, I'll do it. Woo!
Woo!
But then Hogan says to Mean Gene, oh, no, I suckered him because
I suckered it in, and we gotta be quiet here, brother. I think the knee's a little bit better now, too, brother. Shh, quiet. Keep it on the down low, brother. After telling it to whatever, about the thousands of people and the others watching on pay-per-view, and I'll probably obviously not Flair in Vegas, but you'd think that someone like in Flair's entourage would be like, maybe we should call Flick and let him know about something that Hogan's up to here.
Yeah, I'm sure Rick has a pager. Somebody's going to let him know about this. But okay, Nick Bockwinkel, he's seen the whole situation, so he has decided, you know what? I'm going to do something that neither Mr. Flair or Mr. Hogan know about. We're going to have their match at Halloween Havoc, but it's going to be in a steel cage match. And this makes Mean Gene so upset. It's like, what are you smoking, man?
All right, Tony, we are here with the Commissioner of World Championship Wrestling, Nick Bockwinkel. You've heard what the Nature Boy Ric Flair said in Las Vegas. You heard the offer that was made by the WCW heavyweight champion, the great Hulk Hogan. What is the posture of your office on all of this rhetoric?
Well, Mr. Hogan has been in contact with me. He's been...
you had to see this coming.
Oh, yes, we saw this coming. We knew what he was going to do. We knew that the ploy that he, I think, successfully pulled off on Mr. Flair. And consequently, I have a statement that we've prepared. Mr. Flair doesn't even have to get a hold of me on the phone. He has already agreed on national television, so he is signed to the deal. Because of the magnitude of the circumstance surrounding the Hulk Hogan-Ric Flair controversy, we at World Championship Wrestling have granted Mr. Hogan his request to wrestle Mr. Flair on Sunday, October the 23rd, 1994, at Halloween Havoc at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Hulk Hogan will defend the World Championship Wrestling title against Ric Flair. We have been in contact with Mr. Hogan, and the stipulations have been finalized. In return for this office reinstating Mr. Flair, Hogan has agreed not only to put the world title on the line, but his career as well. In other words, if Hogan loses the match, he will never wrestle again, never again for WCW or any promotion in the world. In addition, this is something that neither of these gentlemen know at this time, and it's being imposed by myself and the Championship Committee. In addition, the stipulation, I have one more thing to add. WCW is in the wrestling business. It is our desire to bring resolutions to the issue between Hogan and Flair. In order to do this, WCW has ruled that the match will be held inside a steel cage.
Wait a minute, Bockwinkel. What are you smoking?
I'm not.
No, something. You can't put those two men inside a steel cage. I mean, all hell is going to break loose. How could you possibly do it? You and the guys back there, what in the world are you thinking of?
Then the hell will have to break loose inside the cage.
I want to see that match as bad as anybody else, but I don't want to see it inside a steel cage. You can talk careers all you want.
You know the amount of things that have taken place and the amount of interference, it will be inside of a steel cage.
I want to see you in the locker room area, ladies and gentlemen. What a bombshell. Commissioner Nick Bockwinkel now making it official. Hogan and Flair will meet Hogan's career on the line, and the match will take place inside a steel cage at Halloween Havoc on October the 23rd.
He is why would you do this?
Bockwinkel, you've gone out of power here.
But I guess in storyline it makes sense because you don't want to have the masked man try to interfere again. Come on, Gene.
Yeah. Well, yeah, or you still have because I'm assuming that you still have Flair and Sherry together there, so you don't want her trying to beat Hogan with a shoe or something.
Oh yeah, because as we'll learn later in WCW, a shoe's going to be like the most powerful weapon in WCW.
Yes, women's shoes.
Yeah, for a period in WCW, a women's shoe was the most powerful object in WCW. Okay, well, whatever. All right, so we're ready for our War Games match here, and okay, let me go turn on the closed captioning here, the auto closed caption on YouTube, and tell you what Michael Buffer says right here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the featured event of the WCW Fall Brawl. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the men and women of the Army and Navy, Coast Guard, and Marine Corps of the United States of America stand ready and on full alert to protect and serve, to place themselves in harm's way, if necessary, to protect democracy and justice around the world. And tonight, here in the Civic Center in Roanoke, Virginia, 8 of the most dangerous men in professional wrestling stand ready to protect their honor and manhood. Ladies and gentlemen, let the War Games begin. Ladies and gentlemen from Roanoke, Virginia, let's get, I'm not going to say because I don't want to get sued by Michael.
And then that's it for him because he just does that little intro. And then for the rest of the match, Gary Michael Capetta comes back and introduces the participants.
Yeah, I think that was a good payday for Michael. He just had to do that and leave.
Yeah. Nice gig if he can get it, I guess.
Yeah. So we get the clip from Saturday night from the week before of Colonel Parker finding out that Ming's been replaced with him in the match. And I love that Colonel Parker's like, why are you asking me about my heart? I was in perfect condition. Oh, because I got this note here from WCW. They've said, coming up at Fall Brawl, the War Games, Ming will no longer be allowed to wrestle in your foursome. And instead, they have ordered the directive. Wait, and Funk's like, wait a minute. Are you trying to say he's not in the match? Well, take a look right here. Read that, Colonel Parker. He's like, I don't even own a pair of tights. And I love Ming. Hold on, I'm going to put it right here on the screen share. Ming is so upset he tears his suit off. And he's like, he's trying to scare Gene here. Oh, it's so fantastic.
Yeah. And then I think we get the rest of the recap promos as well, too. We got how Arn turned on Dustin back at Bash at the Beach, and then we got our promo there from Dusty before the Clash of the Champions tag up. And then we get Dusty seeing if the Nasty Boys are really nasty enough, baby.
Not only that, but he recruited the Nasty Boys at the Nasty Bar.
The Nasty Bar.
Yes.
Not quite the friendly tap, but the Nasty Bar.
Well, I guess it makes sense, Dean. If you want to get a team to compete in the War Games match, you can't do no better at this time than the Nasty Boys, because they're coming off some great matches this year with Cactus Jack and Max Payne, and the Cactus Kevin Sullivan match at Slamboree is probably like, I think when I did the PTBN WCW greatest matches, that was in my top 10, their match at Slamboree. That was an all-time classic. So, but we have Tony and Bobby as they're talking about the match, stalling for some time here, and we actually get a cameo in the background from the person who, of course, is famous for setting up the War Games cage, WCW ringman Klondike Bill.
Oh, cool! Good on him for getting 5 seconds of screen time.
Yep. Now, of course, we get a segment here, a pre-tape of Gene talking about the rules of the War Games match. So I assume you all know the rules of the War Games match, but for those who don't, I'm going to explain it here. There are 7 periods in War Games. The first period is 5 minutes, and all of our periods are 2 minutes. 1 man from each team enters during the first period. After the first period ends, the head referee will flip a coin. The team that wins the coin toss will send in the second man. After period 2 ends, the other man sends its second man, making War Games 2-on-2. And then after the third period, the team that won the coin toss sends in its third man. And the teams will alternate during all remaining periods until all 8 men are in. And then the match beyond begins, where surrender or submission is the only way to win. No pinfalls, countouts, or disqualifications. Official time is kept at ringside, and the head referee will have the final say in the War Games. So, okay, here we go. We have our main event of the show here, as the Stud Stable are coming out here. And, okay, here they are. I love the get-up Terry has here with the black, what'd you say that is right there?
Black poncho.
Poncho. Orin's got a black jacket. Bunkhouse Buck is dressed as his usual self here. Colonel Parker, he's in a black. He didn't even bother getting in ring gear. He didn't even bother buying ring gear for this match. Look at him.
It's all ready to die in his white promoter suit.
And of course, Ming looking about as scary as usual here.
Yeah.
And then we got what would we call this team of Dusty, Dustin, and the Nasty Boys? The Nasty Rhodeses?
Nasty Rhodeses.
Yeah.
Nasty Dreamers, I don't know.
Yeah, the Nasty Dreamers, we'll go with that.
The Natural Boys, I guess, too. Is Dustin Rhodes natural?
Yeah. And they're coming out to Dustin's natural theme, too. Yeah. So that works.
Natural. He's the son of a banana.
And a son of a son. Oh, he's a natural one.
And Dusty's got his Nasty Dreams, Nasty Boys style shirt on. And we're ready to kick her off here.
Yeah, so here we go with the match. So let's go to Scott. I still don't understand the reasoning for switching out Meg and putting Parker in there instead. We start with Arn and Dustin as Dustin gets his revenge on Double A for the turn at the Bash and runs him into the cage. Arn retreats to the middle and Dustin boots him into the crack between the rings and pile drives him in there in a spot swipe from Barry Windham in 88. I did love how they used that. You couldn't do that today in the WWE War Games since they have that little metal plate in between the rings.
Yeah, that's...
Which I get makes a lot of sense for safety reasons.
Yeah, safety reasons. I mean, we just prefer the wrestlers breaking their ankles when they go off the top rope, like Bronson Reed did last year.
Oh, that was such a painful spot Bronson did last year, but at least it's good to see him back.
Yeah.
Orange somehow escapes that upside down predicament, so Dustin boots him into the other ring and elbows him down with a flip flop and fly before dropping a couple elbows on him. Orange finally comes back with the DDT and chokes him out with the wrist tape, but Dustin pulls him in a half crab after the first period ends at 6 minutes. Bunkhouse Buck is next in and he stomps Dustin down and puts the boots to him as the heels double team him with a double busted crab. Sag saves at 8:30 and runs Buck into the cage and falls with a pile driver as Dustin continues his beef with Arn. If only the Rhodeses and the Andersons could patch things up one day. Well, that'll never happen. Little did they know that one day young Cody Rhodes will turn to Arn for advice, and Arn's advice is to get a Glock.
Yes, the period of time when Arn Anderson evolves into Frank Reynolds.
WWE should just bring Arn back on occasion and just make him the Frank Reynolds of WWE, and Arn could go, I don't know how much time I got left on this earth, but I'm going to get real weird with it. Funk is in at 10:30 and desperately searches for a weapon before settling on his own boot.
God bless you, Terry, crazy bastard.
He beats on Dustin with the boot while Arn and Buck double team Sags. Sags fights back with a pile driver on the split between the rings as Funk takes a wacky bump and falls into the abyss before reemerging like a crazy old phoenix. Knobs comes in at 12:50 and the Nasties toss on around the ring and do the cheese grater spot with him and Buck. The lack of blood here is very noticeable because there's about 4 guys who would normally be gushing all over the mat by now. Yeah, this is a pretty tame by War Game standards, especially with
Funk in there.
Yeah, but you know what? I appreciated it to a point. I mean, not every match needs to have blood gushing everywhere, like as we kind of discussed last time with the Hardcore Justice.
Yeah. Or to a lesser extent, the was it the tag match that Will and Swerve were in, where it was like blood gushing everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, not every match needs to be like blood gushing everywhere.
Yeah.
Just have a hot match with a hot feud and people were.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, yeah, since I know you're not a big fan of Evolve because of Pete Rosenberg, but last week they had a pretty decent women's match, and I quit match between Wendy Chu and Kendall Gray. There was no gimmicks in the match or any weapons or anything. It was just basically 2 women trying to get one each other to say, I quit.
Okay. That's doable.
Yep.
Sags hits people with Funk's boot, mostly Funk himself, as Terry is just selling like crazy and having the time of his life out there. Colonel Parker is the last guy in for the heels at 15 minutes, and he waits for help from Bunk, and he gets some cheap shots on Dustin. Okay, so I love how the countdown's going on, and Colonel Parker's like, oh no, I won't go in there. Oh,
I ain't going in there.
I ain't going in. He has to wait like 20 seconds before he can finally get in. Meanwhile, Buck uses his own belt to beat on Stags and choke him out, and Funk wants a piece of that action. By which I mean he loses his belt to Dustin and takes a whipping with it, because he's Terry Funk and he's awesome. Dustin goes back to beating on Arnis. The crowd goes crazy for Dusty. The countdown's on. Everyone knows Dusty's going to come in there and whip some ass. Everyone is so hot. They want to see Dusty get in there and beat some ass.
Yep. And then they get their wish, and we got bionic elbows everywhere.
Yes. So we start the match beyond. So Bing is going nuts. He's just shaking the cage like, ah!
Oh, yeah, I can get in here.
I want to get into the ring. Ah! But you can't get in the ring, Ming. The board told you can't be in the match.
They forbid you for in there for some reason.
And so this is how the match ends. Okay. The match ends with everybody on the team. Everybody. Dusty, Dustin, Knobs, Sags. They're all beating the shit out of Colonel Parker. Literally beating the shit out of him. Because apparently he actually did crap his pants.
Oh, God.
So, all right, I'm going to put the screen share on here. Shit.
Oh, I'm glad he did that. That's here in this match instead of his match at Censored 96 when he faced Medusa.
Oh, God. Okay, so Dusty has Parker in the figure 4. Terry's trying to get to him, and Dustin pulls him off. And then, Knobs, he knocks Bing, who's climbing on the cage. Knobs gives a splash. Sags gives an elbow. And then Knobs gives another elbow. So it's just Knobs and Sags are just jumping on top of Colonel Parker as Bing's like, ah! And Nick Patrick and Randy Anderson like, nah, that's it. That's it. We got to call
it. Call it now, boys.
Yeah, let's go home, son. So Dusty, Dustin, and Nasty to get the win. So Scott gave this 4 stars. Baby faces get some shine. Self of the heels a bit. Dustin gets revenge on Double A. Funk acts goofy. Dusty comes in the last, works for 2 minutes while beating up all the heels single-handedly. Bada boom, bada bing, not rocket science. And this has got to be like, I don't know if you could consider this one of the great war games. I think this is like maybe, as far as WCW goes, I'd say this is maybe top 5 war games matches of all time, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, top 5 for WCW, because I think number 1, I think, is still '92 with the Dangerous Alliance versus Sting Squadron is still I think the best.
Yep. So the faces are triumphant in victory.
Yeah.
And we have Tony, Bobby, and Gene wrapping up the show, talking about the whole situation with the masked man interfering in the Vader Sting match.
Yep. And apparently, before he leaves to the back, I guess Ming gets in the ring to help console the heels, and he apparently looks like he headbutts the cameraman that's in there, and then does the getaway, push away of the camera guy there.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah, so he gets over his badass persona again.
Yeah, so let me get the screen share here. I'm gonna. Ming's like, just headbutts the 4K. I'm guessing it was Jackie Crockett who was running the camera. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That they said it was Jackie Crockett that was the in-ring camera person.
Oh, poor Jackie.
And I guess probably Ming was going batshit crazy backstage afterwards too, so he was not happy with the loss here.
Oh, he was not a happy camper, let me tell you. All right, here we go with the credits. So let's see the credits for this show. All right, executives in charge of production, Bill Shaw and Bob Duke. Producer, Tony Schiavone. Director, Craig Levers. Technical director, Rick Fancher. Associate directors, Dan Bynum Jr., Neil Pruitt, and Rob Wright. The associate producer, Christian Johnson. Audio, Rick Wallace, Joe Sparacino, and Marty Beeson. Electrical graphics, Bill Reynolds. Videotape, Timmy Jones and Ken Horstman. Video is Ron Thompson. Engineer in charge is Jeff Hall. Maintenance, Dennis Nesbitt. Camera, Henry Mavers, Jackie Crockett, Al Eastman, Sharon Hill, Ricky Lassiter, Ron Sutton, Bill Tinsley. Steadicam, Tim Snyder. Steadicam assistant, Wes Benston. Crane camera, Rick Little. Crane camera assistant, Darwin Corner. Production assistant, Woody Kirst. Floor director, Bob Briesler.
There's a good wrestling name.
Oh, it definitely is. Marketing and promotion, Mike Weber. Online editing, Kemper Rogers and Stephen Taylor. Offline editing, Ed Arbon, Thomas Bailey, Cliff Bonds, Barry Norman. Production manager, William Bird. Unit manager, Joyce Atkinson. Stage managers, Ron Kirk. Lighting director, Jeff Bornstein. Lighting, FLA Productions. Gaffer, Pat Knowles. Video projection, PDS Corporation. Pyrotechnics, Beyond Bullies Productions. Head rigger, Donnie Carroll. Carpenters, Moses Williams and William Alfaro. Sound, Paragon Productions. Security director, Doug Dillinger. Transportation supervisor, Walt Smith. Electrical generators from Motion Picture and Events. Grip, Michael F. Reynolds. Catering is done by Swanson Catering.
Just a bunch of frozen TV dinners or what?
That's what I'm wondering. Makeup, Annette Yover. Wrestling operations, Janie Ingle. Production facilities, TBS Field Operations, Upland Capital Satellite. Senior consultant, my boy, Jim Barnett. Production administration, Jane Frostrom and Diane Devojak. Event coordinator, Elliot Murnick. Special thanks to Ed Barker, Jim Nelson, IATSE 55. Supervising producers, Keith Mitchell and Craig Levers. VP of production, David F. Crockett. And executive producer and senior vice president, Eric Bischoff. And then our next pay-per-view, Halloween Havoc, October 23rd, Sunday at 7 p.m. Copyright 1984 World Championship Wrestling Inc. Turner Home Entertainment, all rights reserved. All right, so what do we have to say about this show?
It was a very enjoyable show, notwithstanding the U.S. title malarkey. I mean, you had Johnny B. Bad winning his first of many, hopefully many, singles titles in WCW. You had kind of a decent fair send-off for Cactus Jack and Sullivan winning. And so, yeah, and then, like I said, the whole Austin Duggan thing can just... Yeah. And then Pretty Wonderful and Stars and Stripes was surprisingly a good match after being told for years that both teams are kind of just basic. And of course, the triangle match was pretty awesome as well, too. And the War Games match itself this felt like other than having the Hogan stuff and the phone call stuff there, this felt like your almost traditional mid-90s WCW card that was actually strong all the way through.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I would say this is a good show. My criticism, though, is how the triangle match was set up, because you kind of have Vader winning both matches on a fluke.
Yeah.
And so that, I don't know, makes Vader hurt a little bit. But considering it's going to be a while before Vader gets his title shot eventually with Hogan down the line. So, because he's got to sell this business with Flair first. So,
yeah. And I'm assuming Vader has some unfinished business too with Guardian Angel and probably Sting as well.
Yep.
Unless there's another heavy hitter coming in that Sting's going to have to face.
Yeah, I don't know.
It might be an avalanche of some sort, though. Try and bury Sting or something. I don't know.
What? Sting's going to go to, like, the mountains somewhere in Europe where there's a lot of snow? I don't think so, Dave.
We get a sequel to The White Castle of Fear.
Oh, that's true. They could go the White Castle of Fear again. They have some unfinished business from that. We get Cheatham back.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's tug of war that Vader and Sting had over the belt didn't resolve in anything in that there in the castle.
Yeah. And I don't know what Cheetah's been doing since he was on that boat. So we might need to have some unfinished business with Cheatham. But well, whatever. Okay. Well, next time, Dane, here on the Square Circle Time Machine, we're going to continue our story. But we're going to do a short show. But we're going to have a special live edition of the WCW main event from October of 94.
Oh.
Yes. And that cage match between Hogan and Flair, where Hogan is putting his career on the line. Let's just say something else happens that makes the match even more intriguing.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll be here next time on the Squared Circle Time Machine as we continue a month ahead to October 9th of 1994 for a special live edition from Center Stage of the WCW main event. So until then, I'm Greg, that was Dane, and we'll see you right here next time, right here on the Squared Circle Time Machine. Have a good rest of your day, everybody.
Those of you who are old enough may remember this little guy. Happy-go-lucky baby Sinclair. 40 years ago, this engaging sprite stole the country's heart in those Mime and Pan commercials. Remember?
Sure! This pen's pretty good.
That was a long time ago, and we were wondering whatever happened to everybody's favorite baby. Well, we found him, and here he is, Baby Sinclair.
Yeah, gotta love me. Yeah, how you doing? Good to be back.
You know what they want to hear.
Yeah, all right, Sally. That's a pretty good... Wait a minute. That's a pretty good...
What the heck happened to you?
Show business. That's what happened to me. First the band commercials, then the beach movies, a sitcom, and those talk show circuits. I wanted to quit, but she kept pushing me. She couldn't get enough. She
You mean your mother?
Yeah, my mother. She was there when I was hot. But where was she when I couldn't get arrested, Sal? Where was she when I did get arrested?
I believe we have a clip of that.
This is a stick-up. Give me money.
Okay, don't shoot. Hey, ain't you that kid on TV?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good pan, right?
Hey, that's a pretty nice watch.
Huh?
Hand it over.
Okay, I'm taking it off. Hanging it off.
I'm the baby. Gotta love me.
Tragic.
Thanks.
And I understand you've written a book about your life.
Yeah, I wrote it when I was doing a nickel in the slammer.
Ah.
I call it, I blame you, Mommy. I blame you. You.
Oh, what have I done? My poor baby.